Hey guys, it's me and Harry, and I hope we have Chris too. Can you hear us, Chris?
Hello, I can.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey
We have been
guys.
having some technical issues with Chris, but glad we can hear you now.
We are solved. It's good to see you guys. I hope you're doing well.
Doing very
So,
well.
how are you both doing today on this Junior Eurovision Day?
Excited, very excited.
Yeah,
Should
so
be-
excited. It's come from nowhere. I feel like we were waiting for this for ages and suddenly it's Junior Eurovision Day. So
I
excited.
know. And it, makes it seem like Eurovision was like a million years ago now.
It does. It really does, yeah.
Well, everyone who is watching us, welcome to this pre-live video for Junior Eurovision 2023. And of course, we're going to be talking all things Junior Eurovision, about the staging maybe, about the songs, the performances, our predictions for the show. So if you have any comments or questions, please drop them down below in the live chat and we will try to get to them. I can't see any comments yet. So I am assuming that nobody's left a comment, otherwise there's a problem my end. But we're going to continue to talk anyway. So I have to ask, which country are you most excited to see the full staging for? Chris, coming to you first.
Ooh. I would have to say I've seen little glimpses of Georgia. Yeah, I think it's such a powerful song and the music video was so incredible to watch that I can't wait to see how they're going to put that together on the stage. Seen little images and things online, but yeah, to be seeing that on TV today will be really interesting.
Yep, Harry, what about you?
Well, obviously, I've seen the 30-second clips. I've done my pre-votes already for the show. I'll be voting again later, and yeah, it looks like we've got decent staging this year, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited to see the full version of that come alive in later today, and yeah, it's really exciting to see that. I think France looks ridiculously good as well. I can't wait to see the full version of
The
that.
lighting looks amazing. That almost like diamond they've got.
Yeah.
Like the effects that you could do in just lighting, it's good.
I love a good lighting. That's one of the keys to success for me. And also, I think I tell you what, we could be on for our best opener and closer in Junior Eurovision history. I think Spain and Netherlands really putting out all the stops this year, and they're the four I'm looking forward to. I would say, staging wise.
Yeah, I would have to agree with both of you there. And for me, I'm obviously excited to see the full version of the UK because from the snippet I've seen, the AR looks incredible and something that I don't think has ever been done at Eurovision or Junior Eurovision before. So excited to see how the viewers are gonna to like that as well. But we finally have comments in the live chat. So let's go to some of these. We have AMRA Third. Hello to you. We have Andy in the house, who is also very excited for watching the songs today, as are we. And Harry, it looks like you have a fan. Are you next press? Yes, I don't know where you've been, but you're back.
I was in the most recent video that we released on the podcast.
You were. Now, obviously, going back to that podcast, me and Harry were both on that with Twan. And I've got to ask you, Harry, have any of your predictions changed since seeing rehearsal clips?
Now, I could be a stubborn old bat and say no, I'm going to be 100% right, but no, that's obviously not the case. I think some of my predictions have been justified in a sense. For spoilers for any that have not seen the podcast, well, first of all, what are you doing if you haven't? It's the first one we did on video. Come on, guys. But I think my prediction on North Macedonia potentially not doing as well is sort of going to come true, sadly. I don't want to say too much now because admittedly I could be proven wrong very quickly, depending on what I say. But I'd say the two that I'm potentially not going to be as correct on, maybe three, but one of them I still sort of think could be correct. I think the UK I put too low. I think I put them like 7th or 8th. I think they'll come a bit higher. Maybe I was a bit optimistic with Poland being third. in my predictions. We'll see on that. And then the other one, which I think people had a bit of a query about, was me putting Germany 14th in my predictions.
Yeah.
They do look decent. I tell you what, I am not 100. I don't think they'll come as low as 14th, but I'm still not 100% sold on top 10. I don't know why. Maybe the combination of Germany and also just from what I've seen, even though I've heard good things about it, it still seems too quiet at points. The
I think
vocals.
the song itself, I think the song's not as strong, but the staging and the story behind it, I think, is really good.
Yeah, there's enough there. So they're the three I'm sort of like, maybe I've got those slightly wrong. The rest I'm going to be stubborn and say I'm absolutely spot on. These are going to be correct. And I'm going to be proven right in about an hour or two's time.
Well, let's go back to the chat. We have Ruben in the chat. Hey, Ruben. And good luck to Spain, a big favourite to win in this year's contest. AMR A3rd saying that competitively, yes, the first AR, but intervally, it's been used with Davina Michelle and Afrojack and Glennis Grace in the interval act. I don't actually remember that.
I
So
do
I'm gonna
remember
have to
Davina
go back
Michelle.
and watch that.
I
Okay.
remember, yeah.
Ayub is saying that they have an obsession with the Estonian song. It's kind of been on repeat, and I have no clue why. It just hits. So, guys in the chat, let us know what are your favorite songs and your favorite performances from this year's contest. And of course, we have to come to predictions for the show, and we have to talk about who we think is going to win. And before we come to our predictions, if you've been following Eurovoxx on the website, eurovoxx.tv, you will see that we ran a poll to find out what our favourite or top 5 songs were from this year's contest, and the results are actually in. So we have the top 5 of Eurovoxx from the poll, and in 5th place, it's the United Kingdom. 4th place is Germany. 3rd place is France. 2nd place is Spain. Any guesses for who 1st place might be?
Well, I've seen the video, so I won't comment.
Okay.
Chris, you have a
Chris,
guess.
maybe? You haven't seen the video, have you?
Got misery. Is it the Netherlands by any chance?
It is.
Yes,
Yes,
the
it's the
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Thank God for that.
So, Chris, I'm going to come to you first. If you had to pick one country that you think is going to win this year's contest, you can only pick one. Who are you picking and why?
So this is actually the first year I've reacted to all of the Junior Eurovision Song Contest songs before the contest. And yeah, being completely blown away. I don't want to be that person that says, oh, everyone deserves to win. But honestly, I don't think we've got one weak entry this year. All of them can sing. They're all amazing performers. However, we can only have one winner. So I think due to it being one of the first songs selected out of the bunch today, and how much of a growing favourite it's been, my winner is the Netherlands, and I think that they will take it today. And also due to their place in the running order as well, I think, yeah, it's theirs to lose, to be honest, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, my only issue is that I don't think juries are going to score the Netherlands high enough to win. I have them as potential online vote winners, but as for juries, I think that's going to drag them down a little bit. But it would be nice to be proven wrong, of course.
Oh yeah.
But Harry, are the Netherlands winning?
No,
this year?
France is winning. I've got no doubt about it. I as soon as I heard the song for the first time, I was like, "Oh, France want to win again." And then you just hear the whole field, and it's like, as I said on the podcast, it's France has got every element that both a jury and a televote would like. It's got powerful notes. It's got upbeat. It's kid friendly. A very smiley and positive performer, and moments, and there's everything there. And then also when you see the staging and how slick, how good the lights are, and no disrespect to the acts, but also the acts around it, I would say aren't as strong in the running order, which kind of makes sense because France did the running order, but yeah, there is zero doubt in my mind that France will win Junior Eurovision, and I will look like a fool if anyone else wins with my confidence now. But I'm sticking with it. France 100%
I like the confidence
winning.
though. It's good.
I've got to have the confidence, because then it makes me look like a genius if I'm correct, and I'm just less right if I'm wrong. I'm not wrong, but I'm just less right if they don't win.
I mean, not to kind of, bring you down, but if you remember last year, Harry, when we did the podcast,
Yes.
and we both were absolutely convinced the Netherlands was going to win.
Now, I thought the Netherlands were going to win. I wasn't 100% convinced. There were other songs I thought.
Fair enough.
To be fair, Jess, I think one thing we're not discussing here is you'll come onto your, maybe I should wait for you to come onto your winner, but you seem to have a little curse when it comes to your predicted winners before,
Yeah.
with them getting the first slot in the running order the last 2 years.
So next year, I don't have any favourites. I'm not saying anything.
Just maybe put a song that you don't want to do well as your predicted winner.
Yeah.
How about this year, Jess? Who's
your
money on this year?
I mean, I was hoping that I could just ask you two the question and I could avoid this, because as we all know, I can never make a decision and I've always got more than one answer.
That's not how hosting works, Jess. Come on.
Yeah, I know. So at the moment, I predict a 3-horse race between France, Spain, and UK. But realistically speaking, probably France is going to come out on top. For pretty much everything Harry said, they've got the song, the staging, the styling, the lighting, the singer, the running order, jury appeal, online appeal. It just seems the most logical solution that France would win, but would still not be surprised if UK or Spain or Netherlands did win.
Oh, we're going to be insufferable. If the UK win, we're going to be insufferable later for the live. Just
if we win, I don't know how I'm going to host that live afterwards.
Get ready, comments. We'll play music in the background. Woo!
I think that the voting is going to be so exciting today. I think it's so close between so many different countries. So, yeah, I can't wait.
Fingers crossed. Now let's go back to the live chat. We have Rai Bailey. You want Armenia to win, but you can't watch it. Very sad that you can't watch it. AMRA Third, what a username, is saying hopefully the Netherlands, Spain, or United Kingdom will win. They have the good combo of song and staging. Ayub, you're saying your favourite is Estonia and your country of France, but you want the Netherlands to win. You think UK or France is going to win. Let's see. AMRA is saying if the Netherlands has the highest online voting points, they can still win as long as they're not out of the top 3 from the juries. Do you think the juries would put the Netherlands in the top 3, realistically?
They could.
Could it happen?
It's a possibility.
I think that Yasmin's voice is amazing. Like, I accept it well, but I think, when Yasmin holds that note towards the end, that's what gives me the winning fever with that song. And yeah, I just think because that's the last thing everyone's going to remember in the running order. I think that's why I think that's why the juries will love it as well. But yeah, like you said, France has also got so much going for it as well. So it's going to be close.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. We have Lee Fern in the house. Hey, Lee Fern, welcome. Victor, you don't think the United Kingdom is going to win? Okay. It's probably likely that we're not going to win.
Yeah. If it was normal Eurovision, that's the usual prediction. But...
Hey, look, it's nice that we're talking about us as potential winners. It's a fresh feeling still.
I was actually thinking earlier on that this is, I think, now the 3rd time I've used United Kingdom and potential winner in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Which is just mind-blowing. I'm absolutely loving this glow-up era that the UK seems to be experiencing with Eurovision and Junior Eurovision.
Absolutely.
So,
I think a lot thanks to Liverpool.
Yeah.
The way that the BBC took that by the reins this year, I think, they did an amazing job on behalf of Ukraine, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would even go one step further and say thanks to Sam Ryder.
Yeah.
I think he started it all off. But anyway, back to Junior Eurovision. Let's go back to the live chat. Victor, you think Germany has all the elements to win? I do have Germany as my surprise winner, my dark horse winner.
Now, the last
What-
time you branded someone a surprise winner, Jess, was
Anyway, we do not need to be reminded of that.
Sorry, Germany.
For those of you that have no idea what we're talking about, I may or may not have predicted France in Eurovision 2022 to be a potential winner. And of course, they finished on 5. Anyway, moving on. We all know my predictions are rubbish. But yeah, Germany I have as my surprise winner. So I now watch them finish bottom 5. But Harry and Chris, who is your surprise sort of wild card winner?
After you, Harry.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list.
I've seen some people say Ukraine as a surprise winner.
I don't think it's going to win
so much.
It won't win, but I do appreciate it's a very colourful staging and very bubbly, and it's definitely one now where I didn't have it predicted in the top 10 before. I think it will sneak in now, absolutely there.
Also, sorry to bring the UK up again, but I've just been like outstanded by their staging. When I first heard the song, I thought by the third chorus I was getting a little bit bored just by hearing it on the radio, but they've really used the staging to their advantage, and all the 3 singers as well. They are really talented, and they sound amazing. So I think that's probably my biggest grower this year for sure.
Is there any possibility of, because we haven't mentioned them yet, to be fair, and it was one that we all in the podcast thought was going to do really well, any possibility of Armenia winning again?
For me personally, after seeing like rehearsal clips, for me it falls a little bit flat on stage.
But they have a giant dragon, Jess. They've got a massive dragon.
Of course.
That dragon gets a lot of camera angles in that.
You would. It's a giant dragon.
I mean, it is very cool. But for me, I feel like the music video had more energy and power than the staging does. Yeah. And from the clip, it seems like maybe there's one of the harmonies is slightly off. So for those reasons, I think they're still going to do well and they could still finish top 5, but I don't see them winning. They're performing too early on, and the staging, in my opinion, is a bit flat compared to some other stagings. So for me, Armenia's not winning.
How about Ireland? We haven't talked about Ireland yet.
So when it comes...
Do you want to start, Chris, for the positivity?
Again, I thought the music video was amazing. I think they were like at that castle and stuff, and I feel like they've brought that to the stage as well. They've got Sophie Lennon from last year as well on the stage with Jessica McKean, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why they've done that, but I'm not like they sound great together, but can you imagine if all the countries did that, saying, "Oh, we're also going to bring last year's entry on stage as well"? But yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, listen, if we decided to bring on Freya in the last chorus, I don't think anyone would be complaining at our end with the UK.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, I think I've got a rough idea on why they've brought Sophie Lennon back. I'm not necessarily going to say why, because it's not the most positive in Ireland's perspective. But I do. Ireland is a bit annoying for me this year because it just feels like remember their best result in adult Eurovision in recent years is Jedward was 7th. So instead of trying to build off that momentum, they decided, let's just send him again because it seemed to work. That's what I sort of feel like they've done in Junior Eurovision. They've gone, we came 4th with Sophie Lennon. Let's send the exact same package, slightly worse. Let's have the same dress. Let's have a castle in the music video. Let's have this Irish anthemic beauty sound. And you know what? Just to top off that, we're really trying to home in the fact that it's the Solas 2.0. Let's even have the singer of Solas in the song in the end. It does frustrate me a bit that they haven't tried to be a little bit more creative. Look, if it works out in a couple hours, fantastic. You've got your formula. You just do it every single year. But there's a way of building on success. I think the UK have done it quite nicely, where it's a similar style to Lose Your Head, but it's not exactly a carbon copy.
Yeah.
This feels more like a carbon copy of last year. And I'll be honest, I don't see this coming in the top 10 personally.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the Irish song this year, I think juries will appreciate it because it's a very jury sounding song, in my opinion. And I think the juries will give it quite a decent score. But I think the online voters are not going to be gravitated towards it very much. And also, you know, they're performing so early on. They're performing, I think, in fourth, and they're coming before the UK and after Ukraine. So I don't think they have the best running order. And I think the staging, again, kind of falls a bit flat because it's just sort of the two girls standing there, not really doing much. Not that you can really do much with a style of song like this, but compared to some of the other songs around it, I think it's going to struggle to stand out personally, which is a shame because I would love to see it do well, but I just don't think that's going to happen this year.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there. I was just going to agree with you there. I think it's a lovely song, but I think because we've got a lot of ballads this year as well, I think those kind of bop dance entries are definitely going to stand out a little bit more. There are a few ballads that are really amazing. I think Poland is one of them. But yeah, I think if you've got a ballad this year, it needs to have an edge. And I'm not sure I've got it this year, but we'll see. We could be wrong.
Yep. Well, that's what we think of Ireland. Let's go back to the chat to see what you're all saying. Ayub says, do you think Seb will actually sing today? So I've actually, for those that don't know, Seb apparently has had a sore throat and has not had the best voice all week. So I think in some of the rehearsals,
artists getting sick, eh?
I know, right? So he hasn't been singing, I don't think, a lot in his rehearsals, but I did see a clip of the jury performance yesterday and he did sing. It did appear that he was singing live, so I do believe he will sing live today. We can only hope and pray. We have Mr. System 96. Hello to you. Lee Fern making a good point. The Netherlands was the favourite last year with an up-tempo song and ended, I think it was 7th place they finished overall. Then again, they did perform in 1st place last year, whereas this year they're closing. We have Aidan Harley Moran who's saying Spain is my favourite. Well, let's talk about Spain because we haven't really spoken about them. They are one of the big favourites to take the trophy this year. They do, in my opinion, have a very good song, a good overall package, but they are opening the show. Do you think them opening is going to harm their chances of Spain winning? Harry?
Yes. Short and sweet.
Okay, fair enough.
They will. Like I can't. I don't think that an opener's ever won Junior Eurovision. I might be wrong there, but it's one of those slots where it's like it could still do well. Like I remember a couple of years ago, Ukraine opened in, I believe it was in 2018, and still came 4th, I believe.
Yeah.
So they can still do well, and push for top 5. I just don't see this winning and like overcoming those odds of, especially considering the biggest competition I'd say in terms of placement and style is Netherlands, and that's closing. You couldn't ask for more of a polar opposite good running order position. I will say on Spain itself, I really enjoy the staging. It tells a clear story, very fun and very upbeat. One of the best stagings I think Spain has done in Junior Eurovision, and they've done some good ones, but yeah, I don't see it winning. Top 5 is definitely on the cards, though.
Chris, what about you?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Harry said, really. I think the staging's amazing. Sandra has an amazing voice live, even better than hearing to the radio version, actually, which is why I originally didn't place it any higher in my top 16. I think this is elevated for the stage in Nice today, but again, with it opening and with so much coming after it, and also with it being quite a strong year this year, I think it might get forgotten, unfortunately. But yeah, it could still do well, for sure.
So if Spain had a better running order and were maybe performing maybe in the second half, surrounded by not as competitive songs, do you think they could win?
I still wouldn't say win. Win. Obviously, it has a chance. It's not one of those songs where it's like it's completely out of the realms of possibility, but it wouldn't be one where I'd say I'd give it like I wouldn't put a bet on it, for example, that they were going to win.
Well, I am still clinging on to hope that they can win, just so that my prediction in the podcast can be correct. Anyway, but yeah, I do agree with what both of you say. I think first place is going to harm them. I think easily they can still be top 5, but because they're performing first with so much strong competition coming much later on, I think they could get a little bit forgotten, sadly, but they're still going to do good nonetheless anyway. But guys in the live chat, what are your thoughts on Spain? Do you think they can still win from first place? Let us know in the live chat, which we will go back to now. Lee Fern, you're not feeling it with Germany. Let's see. You're also saying you can never dismiss Armenia, but it's not one of my faves. Armenia are one of the powerhouses in Junior Eurovision, so it's entirely possible they could win again. You never know. We have Louis Avi in the house. Hello, guys. Can't wait for the contest. We can't wait either. Only about 35 minutes to go, I think, which is very exciting. Lee Fern, Ireland will fade into the background, unfortunately. Yes. We have, I am really sorry that I'm going to try to pronounce your name. We have Bartiomiec Wasielwecki. I probably did that very wrong. I do apologize. But do you think that Poland can win? You think juries are going to vote for this kind of song, and Maya has a massive support in her city? So you think it could result in the online voting as well? What do you guys think of Poland's chances this year?
So in the podcast, I had this coming in third place because it's one of those songs which I thought was being criminally underrated by the fandom. It's really good quality. It's it's not a Sarah James, it's not a Vicky Gabor, it's not quite that level, but it's pretty close in my opinion. And I love the message of the song. I think it's a very good message for Junior Eurovision, and even adults can connect with it. I don't know if it will win. I feel like the staging could have done more from what I've seen, even though I don't think it's a bad staging. I think it's solid, but I would have maybe like seen a little bit more from Poland. That being said, obviously last year it was a big shock when Lissandro won. No one had France winning last year. If any country is going to do that this year, I would say Poland.
Okay. I disagree. I personally don't see Poland winning this year's contest. I do think they have a good song, a very good singer, and the staging is elevated a lot more than what we saw in the national final. I like the addition of the dances. It works really well, and all of the styling and the colors and everything really does work, but I just don't see it standing out amongst countries like France, Netherlands, UK, for example. So I personally don't see them winning. But Chris, are you on my side, on Harry's side?
I've been trying to think in my head. I think it's definitely a top 5 for me. Again, as Harry said, absolutely love the song, the message of the song. Obviously, her voice is amazing. And I think the fact that the first time we saw her winning song was at the national final. And yeah, I thought that was amazing. And I was a bit nervous when we got the revamp, because when we get Eurovision revamps, sometimes it's not always for the better.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily it's been kept near enough the same. I think the staging is really good. I think they've got about 4 dancers on stage as well. And I think that's really effective. And I also think the LEDs behind her are great at storytelling as well during the song. But like you said, Jess, I think there is too much around this that is going to stand out more for the online audience, but I think the jury will love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I could see this a surprise top 5 with the juries. But online voters maybe wouldn't go for it as much when there's so many other songs that they would probably go for more. But let's see, Lee Fern, you think Spain is definitely a contender? I think so too. We're on the same page there. I'm still clinging on to hope, guys.
I really want them to win that just for you.
Elan Thomas says Spain top 5. Unfortunately, can't see them winning. And Ayub, you think that first place killed and destroyed their chances of winning? Let's see what else you are saying. Elan thinks Georgia is a dark horse, possible winner. What are your thoughts on this?
It won't win. It won't win. I'm not. I don't think it could top 10. Very much in the possibility, but looking at the staging, it feels like one of those stagings with Georgia where juries might get it. Could be top 5 with a jury. Televote, I'm not convinced. Like if Televote didn't get I Believe last year, I'm not entirely sure they're going to connect to this one, especially with a lot more televote friendly songs and a lot more televote friendly countries, I would argue, than Georgia.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think this is going to be a very typical Georgian Junior Eurovision outing where they're going to do really well with the juries and then not so well with the online voters, but still get a good score in the end thanks to the juries. And I see this following the same pattern. I don't think they're going to do as well as they have done last year, for example, and the year before, but I still see them finishing on the left-hand side of the scoreboard, I think. And I do think they have quite arguably some of the best vocals we've seen of this year's contest. Incredibly strong vocals and a good staging as well. But Chris, Georgia, potential winners. Yes, no, maybe?
I mean, they're my winner. I absolutely love this song. I think this is my favourite song this year. Again, the music video was incredible, and I think it was just supposed to be Anastasia, wasn't it, who won the Renina National Final, and then she's since been joined by 2 finalists, Nicolas and Otto, from the previous year. Don't quote me on that.
I think it was this year.
Oh, was it this year? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think, their voices all together, it's just incredible. And I think that it's so impactful when they all come together. But then just echoing what you've both said, it is Junior Eurovision at the end of the day. And I think that the juries will love this. And just as soon as they start singing, I think, they'll love it. But whether a younger audience are going to gravitate towards it when you've got the likes of Netherlands, Spain, France, I'm not sure. But it's my winner for sure.
Well, you've got good taste, I must say. So let's go to the chat and Bartiomic. What are your thoughts on Estonia's debut? Because, of course, this is the very first year that Estonia participates in Junior Eurovision. Their neighbours, Latvia and Lithuania, have previously participated, with Lithuania maybe coming back in 2025. But what are your thoughts on Estonia's song? I'm going to come to you first, Harry.
I think it's solid. I think it's a decent song. I worry for Estonia today. I feel like there's a few songs which are possibilities for last place, and I think that's a compliment. If there's more than one song that you could see coming in last place, it means it's a strong year. It means it's not easy to pick out a weak song. I worry for Estonia though, because out of the songs I think could come last, it's one of the few in the first half. I don't know if there's enough of a moment for it to stand out. Thinking to the running order now, UK, Armenia, North Macedonia, they're all around this one. Poland as well. And there's something not connecting with the staging for me. This song and another one, which we might discuss either in this stream or later this evening. The song is about friendship for Estonia. It's about keeping together. So why is she the only one on stage? Like, maybe it's not a big deal, but it's simple storytelling elements like that, which are like, it's like it feels like you're missing a beat there. It's very easy for a song about friendship to have other friends. Poland do it. Like, maybe you don't have to have dancers necessarily. Maybe you could have like some sort of contemporary dancer in the background, just something that illustrates the meaning of the song, rather than her singing with these like red drapes going down her in like some sort of church, which doesn't really connect to the song,
isn't it?
Pardon?
It's a very like Wednesday Addams, like the staging. It's almost like that window.
Listen, if she starts doing a dance break like Wednesday Addams, then this is a very good, strong contender to do well. I don't think that's going to. She's saving it exactly, but absolutely thrilled Estonia's there. The more countries in Junior Eurovision, the merrier. And they've not. It's not a bad entry by any means, regardless of the result. But I am concerned for them today.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit concerned too, just because the song, in my opinion, is not competitive enough. And when you look at other entries like Spain, UK, France, Netherlands, Armenia, it falls a bit short in comparison to those songs. But I think they've still made a very, very good debut into the contest. And as you said, Harry, it's a solid song. And our Hannah is a great singer, a great performer. And I'm sure they're all going to be proud, you know, no matter what the result is. But I think it's going to struggle to stand out among some of the big favourites this year, sadly. Yeah. You are nodding, Chris.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more unique ballads that we've got this year. I think there are a few. I think it's out of the ballads that we've got. I think it's one of the ones that stands out a bit more because I think most of it is in Estonian. There's a little bit of English in there, but no, I love that most of it is in Estonian. I love that Estonia is bringing like the heritage and culture to the stage this year, with it being their debut. But I agree with Harry that it would be nicer if they could bring more of the meaning of the song to the stage, just because it feels a little bit dark at the moment, and a little bit more sadder than what the song's actually about sticking together. So yeah, I would love to see Estonia get top 10 today, just with it being their debut. But I just think, once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's such a strong year this year. So it's, I don't know. I think the juries would like this more than the public. But again, it's going to be about, it's going to be about the staging, isn't it? I think with all of these songs when they're so strong. So yeah, we'll have to see. But again, I think it's in the first half, isn't it? So
yes,
it's like 7, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So they're coming right before Armenia.
Yes,
and
then
UK's,
you've got
UK's not
Armenia.
too far ahead.
I see. Yeah. Armenia is obviously really impactful in your face. So yeah, it might get left behind, unfortunately, today, but maybe next year.
Yep, there's always next year, as they say.
As we often say as British fans.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Year after year.
It's our catchphrase.
Yeah. So we have Vikram Melon. You're almost ready for the Junior Eurovision Song Contest in France after you went to Disneyland Paris 2 months ago. That is somewhere that I've never been yet.
What?
Yeah, never been to Disneyland.
Mate, I've been there many times. It's fantastic.
No.
Oh, we need to go, Chris.
Did you not have a childhood? Did you not have childhood?
Yes, my childhood was not rich enough for Disneyland, sadly.
Okay,
Good Disney films.
Yeah. So we're probably going to wrap it up soon because there's only about 20 minutes to go until the show. But let's look at some more of the comments. Quick fire question. Where will Germany place? I'm going to say 5th.
11th.
14th.
Oh, very different. We should come back to this later and see who was the closest.
Name and shame.
Yes.
Probably not me.
It might be you
see.
if they come top 10.
True. AMRA. Oh no, Lee Fern is saying it would be great to have some Scandinavian representation again. You're surprised Sweden hasn't competed, and also Denmark. I would also love to see more Scandinavian countries returning or debuting in Junior Eurovision. I thought Sweden were great when they were in it, and Norway and Denmark, and I'd love to see them back. What do you guys think?
Don't Denmark have their own like junior MGP, or am I?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Norway has one as well.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, no. I mean, Denmark's an easy transition. You just send one of the songs that's in adult MGP, and they fit perfectly in the junior contest. Take that how you will with the quality of Denmark's national final.
Yeah, well, as they say, let's always wait till next year. You never know. Now Estonia's returned, and also there is news that Lithuania could return. And there is also news that Finland is sending an observer to this year's contest, which could point to good things, maybe. So maybe if Finland decide to come to the contest, that could encourage other Nordics to return, could encourage maybe Iceland to debut as well, or maybe I'm just being hopeful. But
Every country debut, get them all.
Exactly.
I think the staging's amazing this year. I think, like, if anything, it look just from the rehearsal clips, it looks like an adult Eurovision. It looks incredible. So yeah, I think a lot of people will be inspired to take part anyway after this year.
I think so too. Yes.
It also looks like adult
let-
Eurovision from the sheer amount of wide angles we have in the rehearsal footage.
Yes,
It's proper
I
adult
was
Eurovision vibes.
thinking the same. And talking of, angle shots and stagings, Lee Fern is asking the best staging of the year. For him, it's the UK. It looks so slick. The BBC are starting to take both contests very seriously. So, best staging, in your opinion, of Junior Eurovision 2023?
It's between two.
I mean, I probably would agree with the UK or maybe the Netherlands.
I think it could be
Probably.
France. France is sort of
Okay.
where I'm leaning towards.
That is very good too.
Yeah, I would have to agree France for me, just because of the way they've used the lighting. I think she's on top of a piano. They've got dancers. Yeah. I think that's the best thing.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've got 20 minutes to go until the show. So I think we're probably going to start wrapping up so people can get ready for the show in whatever way that may be. Some people might get snacks in, order a takeaway like I did, because why not? But before we go, I'm going to ask you, obviously, a very important question. What is going to be the top 3 of Junior Eurovision this year? The overall top 3.
I'm going to say, I'm struggling with third. I know second and first. Third will be Netherlands. Second, I still think it will be Armenia. And first will be France.
Interesting choices. Chris, have you decided yet?
My third place is Armenia. My second place is France. And my first place is the Netherlands.
Okay. So I would say first France, second United Kingdom, and third Spain. I think, or maybe Spain second, UK third. I don't know.
Whatever one dooms us the least, Jess, that'd be fantastic.
Basically, yes. Lee Fern is saying France, Armenia, and Netherlands. Yeah. Moritz is saying France, Netherlands, and Spain for you. But I think that's going to be a wrap for this particular live video, guys. We've got just over 15 minutes to go until the show. And we are going to be coming back after the show for another live. It's going to be me, Harry, and Chris again, and we're going to be joined by Ruben from Spain, one of the newest members of Eurovoxx. And we are probably going to be going live right at the very end of the show as the final votes are coming in. So stay tuned. Don't forget to come back and join us. And I hope every one of you all enjoys the show. I hope all your favorites do well. And thank you, Harry. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone in the live chat.
Thank you.
Enjoy the show, and we will see you in a couple of hours. But until then, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.